Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. Today we are talking about the 2020 census, and we are so honored to be joined this morning by Lieutenant Governor Governor Gilchrist. Thank you so much for being here today, Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you for having me.
And I know this topic is near and dear to your heart, which is very, very important that everyone is counted. The deadline is fast approaching to fill out the census. So how is Saginaw County, and specifically the city of Saginaw, doing on the census count with less than a month to go, Lieutenant Governor?
So this is really important to me, and frankly, it's important to the entire state of Michigan that everybody in Saginaw County steps up, stands tall, and is counted. Saginaw County overall is doing pretty well as far as making sure people are filling in their census. But I really want to share with folks that we still have a lot of work to do with Saginaw City, specifically certain areas of the city where we're just not getting the response that we need. And I say we need because it is important that folks remember what the census really does for our communities. First and foremost, it gives us a chance to really show our pride in who we are and where we're from, and then connect that pride to the resources to help make our communities deliver everything that we need for our people. And so really what I want to, the message I want to send today is just let everyone in Saginaw City know how critical it is for people to step up and to complete their census.
That's right, Lieutenant Governor. Now tell me about this. What are some of the factors that really account for people of color not filling out their census form?
Well, I mean, there are so many things that would classify someone or a community as being, quote unquote, hard to count. A lot of it starts with the fact that people who are from underrepresented communities, people of color, Black folks in particular, have historically filled out the census at lower rates. And that's why the state of Michigan is investing so much in trying to make sure that people of color in Michigan actually do fill out the census. But there are other factors as well. People who rent their homes are more likely or less likely to fill out the census than people who purchase their homes. And also people who are lower income and maybe more transient, and especially when we're dealing with COVID, you just have a lot more contributing factors that make it hard to do things like get to work or get around. And that has also reduced the count, particularly in our communities of color that have been so hard hit by the pandemic. But we, this year, are making this historic investment at the state level because we want every community to have their power and their resources shown in full and reflected in full for the census. So that's why I want to make sure everybody knows that they have an opportunity to do this, and it's going to be easier than ever.
And I know this is a misconception, and I hear it a lot, Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist. What are you going to say to folks when they say, hey, if I fill this out, the census can be used against me? What do you tell them?
Yeah, that's a real concern that I've heard personally from a lot of people. And the beautiful thing about the census in that regard is that it is actually federally protected by law. So the government cannot use information you fill out in the census for anything other than statistics, anything other than counting it. And if any government official does that, they are literally charged with a crime. The census, the data is safe. And look, I'm a computer engineer, software programmer by training. Like I know what a secure data system looks like.
Right.
And it's actually most secure data systems that the federal government has. And so the data and information will be safe. It will only be used for statistical purposes. And again, those statistics are what dictates the federal resources that come into our communities, how much money is invested in healthcare and education, roads and infrastructure, internet access, everything that we need to use federal resources for starts with filling out the census.
Lieutenant Governor, to ease some of those fears and to calm some of that anxiety, what question would people be answering on the census? What questions are on there and what questions are not on there?
Yeah, this is also important. So the census is really straightforward, and the questions are super simple. They're going to ask for your name, what day you were born, your race, your ethnicity, how many people live in your home, if there were any additional people who live in your home on April 1st of this year. They're going to ask what your household income is, and that's it. Like, just these simple questions. Yes. I have a family of 5, and it took me like 7 minutes. There's a video actually. It took me like 7 minutes to fill out my census form. It is so straightforward. But if you answer these 10 questions, you will bring resources in your community for the next 10 years. It's a 1 to 10 year opportunity to declare the resources that we are going to get in our state and in Saginaw County. That's why I need everybody to step up.
That's right.
What's not going to be on there are no questions about whether or not you're a United States citizen. That's really important. So you don't have to be afraid if you are a person who does not have full citizenship status or is undocumented. You can fill out the census safely and not put yourself in any danger.
And I can attest to that. The census is quick and easy to fill out. So why is completing the census important for local communities, Lieutenant Governor?
Yeah, so I talked a lot about those resources that it draws down from the federal government when it comes to things like education dollars, healthcare dollars, dollars for housing that is affordable, dollars for roads and infrastructure, dollars for creating access to the internet for people who don't have it, both in our urban and rural communities. It's also important for our political representation. The census will dictate how maps are drawn for how our political lines and political boundaries look, and we have a new process for that in Michigan. The census will strengthen the understanding of where our people are, so we know how to draw those political maps fairly and not merely based on partisan politics. So there's a tremendous opportunity at stake here, and I just believe the people of Michigan, we are proud and powerful people.
Yes.
And powerful people use their power. We use our power. We don't leave it on the table. And not filling out the census form really leaves power and opportunity on the table that I don't believe we can afford to do, and that's absolutely what we should not do. And so that's why I'm imploring that everybody steps up and does it.
That's for sure. And Saginaw has a few events that are coming up, pretty exciting to promote the census this month. Tell us a little bit more about those events, Lieutenant Governor.
Yeah, I'm super pumped about these events because one of the dates is really special to me. So these events will be happening on Saturday, starting on the 11th, the 18th, and September 25th, which happens to be my birthday.
Yay, happy birthday.
There's an event that will be at 11 to 1. It's a partnership with Stars, and it's just going to be a great, fun community event. People will be able to come, have their questions answered, and most importantly, fill out their census. And this is the easiest census to ever fill out, because there's 3 ways to do it. You can fill out your census the historic way, which is by getting a paper form in the mail and then filling that out. And everyone should have received one by now. Problems with the mail service notwithstanding, people should have received their census form by now. But there are 2 new ways. You can also fill out the census form online at my2020census.com. Go right there to that website. You may have gotten a postcard in the mail that has a particular code you can use, but even if you haven't, you can go and put your name in on that site, fill out your census form. That's how I did mine. And the third way, and you can do that from your cell phone too, it works on your mobile phone. And the third way you can do it is by calling a phone number, and that phone number is available at my2020census.gov, where you can actually call and complete your census over the phone. So we're trying to make it as easy and accessible as possible, so as many people do it as possible.
I love it. And lastly, Lieutenant Governor, give us some tips on encouraging our family and our friends and our loved ones to fill out the census. What can we tell them to encourage them to do this?
Well, I need everybody who's hearing this to be a census champion. And what it means to be a census champion is that at every opportunity you get, at every conversation with someone you love, let them know how important it is for them to use their power and complete the census, so that they can stand tall for Michigan. Let them know how easy it is. Let them know that you can do it in less than 10 minutes. Let them know that the information that you share is secure and will not get you in trouble. Let them know that this is their once in a 10-year opportunity to get 10 years worth of resources to the community, so that everything that may frustrate them about what's not present in our communities, the census helps make that happen. And so they have an opportunity to really, really impact lives and do so in one of the quickest, safest, and most convenient ways you can when it comes to interacting with government. So just let them know that there is nothing standing between them and their power to complete the census.
Lieutenant Governor, I have to tell you, you've pumped everyone up out there to go out and do this. We appreciate you joining us this morning. Thank you so much for your information.
Thank you. Everybody be safe, wear your mask, and do your census.
Love it. Mask up and make sure you get out there and fill out your census. Thank you again. For more information, please check out the hot link section of WNEM.com.